Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is May 24th, 2024, and it's official. Barcelona have sacked Xavi Hernandez. This happened a few moments ago, I think about 30 minutes ago, where Joan Laporta and the board of directors communicated their decision to Xavi at the Ciudad Esportiva. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo and I'm bringing you this last minute live stream, breaking news live stream to inform you that Xavi Hernandez has been officially sacked. This is not a podcast, so it's going to be very short. I'm also not going to be addressing the chat section, but of course today is Friday, so we do have a podcast scheduled for 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so make sure to tune in because I'm sure a lot of you will have a lot to say, and I will be reading your comments out loud to discuss what just happened a few moments ago in the Ciudad Esportiva. Having said all of that, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. All of this helps this channel continue to grow. By the way, I have officially uploaded the video, the vlog of my visit to the Barcelona Museum. It is set to premiere in about 42 minutes, I think, so make sure to check it out. I hope you guys like it, and I hope you enjoy the experience of visiting this newly renovated Barca Museum and immersive tour. That's what they call it. Anyways, let's dive right into the news because I'm sure you're here to hear what happened with Xavi Hernandez. So let's talk about it because Joan Laporta just communicated a few moments ago to Xavi Hernandez that he will not continue as Barcelona's manager next season. Now, this happened at the Ciudad Esportiva, which is the sporting complex where the team trained. In the early hours of the morning, we knew that Laporta was set to meet with Xavi Hernandez after the practice was over. And then reporters in Barcelona started reporting the arrival of Joan Laporta to the Ciudad Esportiva, but that was not all. There was also vehicles were seen carrying other members of the board of directors, including Rafa Yuste, Soler, and Masip, and that's when the rumors intensified, and it looked like it was the inevitable was going to happen, which is that Xavi was going to be sacked because if it was just a regular meeting, the entire board wouldn't have had shown up. And well, that's exactly what happened because Laporta informed Xavi that he is no longer going to be Barcelona's next manager. Now, this has been officially confirmed by the club, so this is not a rumor. This has been officially confirmed as FC Barcelona have released a statement. This is the official statement of the club, which doesn't really say much, but as you can see on your screen, pretty much it talks about that Barcelona had reached a decision to not continue with Xavi Hernandez as the coach for next season, and that the Barcelona, the club, thanks Xavi for everything that he did. So pretty short statement, doesn't really say much again, but it does confirm that Xavi Hernandez will not be Barcelona's manager for next season. And of course, it will be curious to see whether Barcelona will reach an agreement with Xavi as far as the remainder of his contract. Of course, he has a contract until 2025. We'll have to find out later whether Laporta has reached some kind of agreement with Xavi on whether they're going to pay him his full salary for that last year of contract, whether they're going to reach some kind of agreement. Of course, some reporters in Barcelona were saying that Xavi would be willing to forgive his last year of contract, but not for his staff because, of course, he's in a much better financial situation than his staff is. Now, it's reported that Xavi Hernandez was seen at the Ciudad Esportiva. We also reporters on the ground saw that Rafa Yuste, the vice president of Barcelona, was the first one to leave the Ciudad Esportiva. Of course, Rafa Yuste was one of the very few people on the board that still wanted the continuity of Xavi. He was seen leaving first. He was seen with a very, very serious face, not happy about it, which is, again, understandable since Yuste wanted Barcelona to continue betting on Xavi. Moments later, Masip and Soler were seen leaving the Ciudad Esportiva as well. These are two of the members of the sporting commission that were in favor of changing Xavi. And then finally, Joan Laporta was seen leaving. But there you have it, folks. Xavi Hernandez has been officially sacked and will not be Barcelona's manager. Now, of course, the reason for this decision is because the board of directors believe that Xavi has not been able to extract the best out of the team, that we have a squad that should be competing better than what they're currently competing. They were also not happy with the practices. This is something I discussed before on the channel, where Deco had visited several training sessions and he did not like what he saw. He didn't think that the team were training strong enough or hard enough, especially when it comes to the fitness of the players. And that's also a complaint that we recently found out. Yesterday, we found out that was also made by the players. And it seems that the players had complained on several occasions all throughout the season that the practices were not being performed to the best of how it should they be performed, especially when it comes to fitness. So the board has decided to not continue with Xavi. Now, we have found out that this meeting was actually requested by Xavi Hernandez himself because, of course, the pressure was mounting on Xavi. The media was talking about Laporta wanting to sack him. He hadn't heard anything from the board. He hadn't heard anything from Laporta. So, of course, given the uncertainty of his future, Xavi insisted that he wanted to meet with Laporta, even though there was a scheduled meeting for next week. And even though Laporta had no intention of meeting with Xavi until next week because he is suffering from pneumonia, he was resting at his home per doctor's orders. He needed to rest because he will be traveling this weekend to the Women's Champions League final. But upon Xavi's insistence, Laporta agreed to meet with him. And today they all met at the Ciudad Esportiva, where Laporta's decision was communicated to the Barcelona coach. Now, that most likely means that Hansi Flick will indeed become Barcelona's next coach. We do have more information about the contract that Hansi Flick is set to sign with Barcelona. I will talk about that later in the podcast. So make sure to stay tuned to the channel and make sure you join the podcast at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, I think that today is a sad day when it comes for Barcelona, not because Xavi will not continue, because I've made it very clear. I don't think that Xavi should be Barcelona's coach. I think he has shown everybody that he's not capable of extracting the best out of this team. He's not capable of building a successful project. But I think it's a sad day because how things were handled by Laporta and the board, I don't think they were handled correctly at all. I think Xavi should have been allowed to leave when he announced his resignation. As soon as Xavi said that he wanted to leave, that he wasn't the man for the job, a lot of people, and then Laporta started talking about wanting to keep him. A lot of people within the board said, no, that's a mistake. He should leave. And then it seems that Laporta had agreed finally that, yes, Xavi should be allowed to leave. And then, of course, that meeting happened, that sushi pack meeting happened, where Xavi convinced Laporta to change his mind. And I think that was the first mistake that Laporta made, because if he and his board had already agreed that Xavi was not the man for the job, then why would you ratify someone that you believed was not the right man for the job? That made no sense to me. So that right there was the first mistake. The second mistake was that 3 weeks later, Laporta decides to sack Xavi, and it gets leaked to the media, and he doesn't address it. And more importantly, he doesn't own up to it and does not face Xavi and tell him that he has changed his mind. Because look, I get it. Laporta realized he made a mistake. He decided that Xavi should be sacked. But the moment he realized that, he should have immediately met with Xavi. He should have told him, look, I made a mistake. You should not be the coach. Let's part ways. But let's keep it under wraps and let's not announce it until the end of the season. That would have been a better solution. Now, I get that sometimes things get leaked. In the case that would have been leaked, then the club, Laporta, Xavi should have put out a statement together saying that they have agreed to part ways. But instead, Laporta decides to sack Xavi. It gets leaked to the media. He doesn't address it. He doesn't tell Xavi Hernandez. And that was a big, big mistake, because you should not find out that you're getting fired from the media. You should find out directly from your boss. That was a bad, bad mistake on Joan Laporta. This whole thing has been mishandled. And I think this will be a forever stain on Joan Laporta's legacy, because Xavi Hernandez is an absolute legend of the club. He is one of our best players in the history of the club. And he is someone who gave us a lot, 2 trebles and a sextuple. I don't think Xavi Hernandez deserved this. Again, I don't believe that Xavi should continue as a coach. I think it's the right decision for him not continue. But the way this was handled, it's not okay. Xavi does not deserve this. And this is going to be a stain on Laporta's legacy. We'll see. It might even cost him the election, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Anyways, that is all the news that I have for you. I did this live stream right away as soon as I heard. I am interested to hear what you guys have to say. So please drop a comment down below letting me know what your opinion is about this news that Xavi will no longer be Barcelona's coach. Anyways, I will see you guys in the podcast today at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, don't forget the Barcelona Museum video will be up in about 30 minutes. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and as always, Visca Barça.